Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Following up on, I think, where my colleague, Ms. Wagner, was leading, Mr. Murphy, I guess I don't understand your reluctance to call this what it is, ethnic cleansing. I mean, you've used code, disproportionate response by the military, other sources of violence, a culture of complexities. At least Nikki Haley admitted it appears to be ethnic cleansing. When 800,000 people of a particular ethnic background are living in the neighboring country because they've been forcibly removed from their villages, I'd call that ethnic cleansing, and pretty clear and simple. What is your reluctance to call it what it is?
Thank you very much, Congressman Connolly. I appreciate your perspectives and concern about the situation, as we are deeply, deeply concerned by the human tragedy, and that's what it is.
Let's stipulate we both are concerned. We accept that. Why not call it ethnic cleansing? What is the nature of your reluctance as a diplomat representing the State Department to call it ethnic cleansing? Are you afraid you offend the Burmese military, or, I mean, what is our concern?
No, there's no reluctance, Mr. Connolly, at all. I have referred to our senior officials, including Ambassador Haley and Secretary Tillerson, who have referred to what appears to many to be ethnic cleansing. The important thing now is action to end the violence.
I get that, Mr. Murphy, but I'm an English lit major. Words mean something. And you are still evidencing a reluctance to call it ethnic cleansing. My question to you is why?
In part, the situation must be focused on the UN fact-finding mission. That is a deliberative process to look exactly at what's taken place there and elsewhere.
I'm sorry,
we're supportive.
I'm worried about
process.
time. I'm not trying to be rude, but I only have 3 more minutes, and you see the chairman's strict. So we're waiting for the UN.
No. That is a parallel process that we are strongly supporting.
So we don't care whether the UN finds it ethnic cleansing or not. We're free to call it what we think it is.
Absolutely.
Well,
a human tragedy.
Then why don't you call it ethnic cleansing?
It's a human tragedy.
Mr. Murphy, do I look like a fool to you?
Would the gentleman yield
Yes,
for a
sir.
moment?
Of course.
Just to quote Ambassador Nikki Haley, who I have talked to at length on this issue and is speaking for the administration, I presume, on this issue. She says it is a brutal, sustained campaign to cleanse the country of an ethnic minority, to cleanse the country of an ethnic minority. The UN is engaged in its assessment of the situation, but I would say that that puts us out on the ledge of what I and Elliot Engel and us on the committee have named and called ethnic cleansing. We encourage everyone to use that term, but I just wanted to clarify Nikki Haley's.
Yeah, I thank the chair, and apparently that word hasn't gotten to the Deputy Assistant Secretary.
He had used the quote earlier.
I just, sometimes we have to be careful, but when we're looking at the kind of tragedy we're looking at here, it seems to me speaking with clarity actually is an important tool of diplomacy, not fuzzifying it with other kinds of descriptions that clearly, deliberately are avoiding calling it what it is. By the way, I'd ask the chair if he might just restore a little of my time.
But of course.
I thank